Right, great question here from Keith. He's saying the range has now had TrackMan fitted in all the bays. I'm trying to get back into playing a long time away. My question is, how does mats affect strike and spin when hitting balls from them, opposed to on the course? I've done bigger videos on this, but this is my Q&A channel. Hello, Matt Crossroad, answering your questions. Keith's questions are going to be answered. So Keith, without seeing your mats, the general rule of thumb is that range mats will tend to allow for the ball to go a bit further with irons. So driver, obviously no difference. When the ball's on a tee, you should be just getting good readings. When the ball's on the ground, from a mat, generally what happens is you can get it higher up the face, which promotes a lower spinning shot, which then promotes a fuller distance. Things that can affect that though are like things like what irons you've got. I've got low spinning irons, so the further up the face I hit them, the lower spinning they get. Where your more bladed iron, that does happen as well, but maybe not quite as much. So your irons will affect it as well. But the rule of thumb is that you're gonna hit, subject to the quality of the mat, higher up the face. So these are like 5 iron, 6 iron, 7 iron, 8 iron, maybe 9 iron, that promote lower spinning shots, which will show us going further. Where on the course, where the ball's on the ground, you're going to be more bottom groove to third groove up, so lower, creating more spin, thus hitting them a little shorter. So I get my fuller shots from range mats. My range mat's it's a really good quality. It's from Southwest Greens, and it's like as good as you can get, but it is slightly piled to the ball to sit up. Some range mats are really bare, so it might not be the case. Other things that can happen as well is range mats are very friendly when it comes to strike. So you'll be getting some duffy ones that do very well, which won't happen when you're on the ground and the grass and you've got to get the strike kind of there or thereabouts. Again, giving that range mat, I would say it's around half a club for me. Like if I'm hitting a 7 iron 190, 185 indoors, I'm not in that outdoors. Apart from a tee, I'm going to be much more around kind of 170 to 180 when I get it on the ground. And then the other thing as well, when it comes to wedges, just to make it even more confusing, your wedges from a mat have a tendency to spin a little higher because of the nature of the dryness of the strike. You don't get any of what I've got here: grass, dew, wet, stones, grit getting between the face and the ball. So on the mat you can get, obviously, well, not obviously, but obviously, I keep saying obviously when it's so not obvious, hence the question. I was like stuck in an obviously. If you think I've said obviously too much in this video, post obviously in the comments to let me know. But what happens is that the dryness of the hit of the mat compared to the inconsistencies of a wet ball and those kind of things on the ground reduces spin with wedges and raises it with mat shots, obviously. Great question, thank you. Half a club more with your medium irons. Not that different with woods, fairway woods again, it's subject to if you're hitting from the ground or not. Wedges, slightly higher spinning.